You're listening to Talk in the Night with your host, Paranormal Phil. And now, your host.
Thank you and good evening, good morning, wherever you may be listening around the world or in the comfort of your own home. I am Paranormal Phil and this is Talk in the Night. Tonight we're going to get into the whole thing about numerology, what the numbers have in store for us, and so much more with my guest, Miss M. We're going to talk about life path numbers and so much more. And then in the second hour, we'll do readings. Now, I did figure out a way to solve the sound problem that I've had. So if you're listening to the show, pop in the chat. Let me know if you can hear my guest okay. So please welcome to the show my guest, Miss M.
Hi.
There we go. All right. So let's get into the show. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and everything.
Okay. Well, I got into numerology when I was about 6 years old, and I never fit in. And so even at that age, I felt like there had to be something more. And my parents were really spiritual, and they had all these books lying around, and I found one by Vincent Lopez, a famous band leader, and it was on numerology, and I just kind of, was looking at it, playing with it, and I just kept studying it, and things started to make more sense. It was like I was always left out, and I didn't understand, the quote-unquote mean girls and why people did certain things and bullied others and bullied me. I didn't get it. And it was like everyone had this handbook and I didn't have it. But when I started studying numbers, I felt like I got the handbook or I got some of the pages. And things started to make more sense and it really helped me. So I just kept at it. And of course, I did a lot of other things. And then a bunch of years ago, I don't know, my interest, my abilities just went up like a bunch of notches. And I would always do readings for people, and people started telling me, you have to do this like a lot because it was helping people. So I started to do it more and more, and that's where we are today.
Yeah, well, I'm the same way with being able to see and communicate with spirits and everything like that. Is over the years, it just kept getting stronger and stronger, and now it's really strong to where sometimes the spirits annoy the heck out of me sometimes, but yeah, no, it over the years it's just gotten stronger and everything like that, but I use my ability to help those that really need answers from the other side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, of course, before the show, we discussed your numbers.
Yes.
We talked about them. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, dear Philip, your birthday is 12/26/1973, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, and you said that and you told me, well, it's funny because when we got on the phone, you mentioned the whole spiritual thing, like right off the bat, but you're actually an attitude number 11 now. A lot of people don't talk about attitude number, but it's very, very important. It's one of the core numbers in numerology. There's the birthday number, there's the attitude number, the life path number, the expression number, and these are all keys into a person's makeup. It's like their life DNA. So you are an attitude number 11, and I can see immediately, of course you're psychic. you're psychic, and I mean, you're crazy psychic, and this year is a master number, 11. So your abilities are probably like off the charts. You're probably seeing things all the time, and like I said, you're hearing things and whatnot. So it is a very powerful year. So should I go more into your numbers, or because I just wanted to mention the 11? Okay, because the 11 figures prominently in this year. Okay,
yes.
And you are an attitude master number 11. And how we get that, okay, is we add the month and the day of birth. And then there are a few other calculations that you can do, but just for simplicity's sake, okay, you're 1226, okay? So we take the 12, that's a 3, and then the 26 is an 8, so 3 plus 8, that's 11. Okay, we don't reduce it because it's a master number, okay? Now, 2018, the 2 plus the 0 plus the 1 plus the 8, okay, that all adds up to 11. All right. So now you have this show, and you're getting back into the swing of things. All right. And your what's that?
Yeah, I was agreeing with you.
You can interrupt me at any time because I tend to like talk a blue streak. So okay. So your life path is a 13-4, and your personal year is a 13-4, and your personal year is actually not just a 13-4, it's a 4-13-22-4. And it's a little there. I put a little secret sauce on the numbers. You know, every numerologist has their thing. And so you first do the calculation with reducing everything. Then you don't reduce a master number. Then you don't reduce the master number for the year. So that's how you get the 4-13-22-4. Now, the 13 misunderstood. Some people call 13, 14, 16, and 19. They call them karmic numbers. I don't like the K word, so I call them gift numbers.
Okay, that sounds a lot better.
Well, yeah, I mean, because if you say a karmic number, then all of a sudden you're saddled with the karmic number. It's very instructive. It means a lot. It's very intense. But what it means for this year is there's a lot of work involved, but you can achieve transcendence through work if you really focus. Especially since it's the 13-22-4, you can do things you didn't think that you could do. You are going to build something lasting. If you just keep going, just put one foot in front of the other, just take the next right step, just keep going, and don't listen to anybody else. Because the 22 has the vision, and the 22 has the ability to put the vision into the physical. Okay, a lot of times the 11 has the vision, but sometimes 11 who are out of power just keep spinning. There are a lot of people in mental hospitals that are 11s because they're so psychic. They can be schizophrenic. They see things and people think they're crazy, but in reality, I mean, they're actually in reality. I don't know every single case, of course, but many 11s actually have so much of this energy flowing through them that it actually breaks the vessel, and they can't process it.
Yeah. So
So that's but this year is a very promising, very powerful year for you. Very, very powerful. And so you want to use it to the utmost. And what that means is that you just keep believing in yourself, whether it's spirits talking to you or whether it's your sister Lucy or whatever. You do what you know you need to do. And also this year, a lot of people are going to be leaning on you as well, because the 4 is the rock, the stable rock, and everybody wants to lean on the 4. Everybody talks to the 4. Everybody wants something, but it's kind of it's something that you've gotten used to, and that's great. But you, as an 11, also the 11 is very sensitive physically too to other people draining them. So you just have to watch your energy. You just have to watch your energy. Be very careful this year, especially because if you allow yourself to get to to help too many people and who you want to. You have a big heart. You can really, not, I don't want to scare you, but you can get sick, just things here and there, weird things that just trip you up, and you don't want anything to spoil your picnic. So
yeah, well, I know what you mean. Of course, I've had days where the stress just eats at me and stuff like that, and I have to take time to actually go off on my own and just meditate and relax.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And it's really, it's very important that you do that. So that's you. That's you in a nutshell. We also talked about the 26, and of course you have a really big heart, but you also have temper.
Yes,
so
I do have.
Yeah. So when someone gets you really angry, they better get out the way. But you have a gift number. We talked about your birth time too. I don't know if you want to give that out in the air, but the birth time is a very sacred number, and I don't know other numerologists who use it. I'm sure some do, but I haven't. But anyway, it's a very, very sacred number, and I don't want to know anyone's birth time unless they are looking at their birth certificate and they have it exactly. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Because it is so sacred, it is so powerful. It's one of your superpowers.
Yeah. That's without getting into mind, explain a little bit about what the time of birth has to do. Why it's so powerful.
Right. Well, it's the number that is made real on your birth certificate. That it doesn't. You could have been born 3 minutes before they actually put it down. It doesn't matter. When they put it down, that's on a document. It is on a birth certificate, where we are a system of documents and laws and physical, non-physical, all that sort of thing. So that is made real in this world. Now, there are some cases where the birth certificate is wrong, like by a day, and I've encountered those because I've done some people's numbers, and I'm like, excuse me, this does not make sense.
Yeah.
This is not you. And actually I did this for someone in the military. That I think your birth certificate, say that to someone, it's like a pretty big deal. Like, I think your birth certificate is wrong. And I said it because nothing was making sense, and I see, or the force, I don't do any readings, okay? The force does the readings, because that's what I developed this system also called the geodocking method for numerology, and that's part of taking the shapes of the numbers, and you allow the force to dock them and see whether that it's actually a way. It's a scientific method of prediction, but it applies to numerology. So there are just some things that they don't make sense. They don't make sense. So I said this, and the guy was like, "You're probably right," because he was in the military. He's in a military family, and a lot of things were getting moved around, and they probably messed up his birth certificate, and he actually said it to me. And so that's really interesting. Anyway, so barring that, when something's like everything's off, but the time of birth, okay, that's the time that has been reported that you entered the world. That's you. I mean, that is like, oh my gosh, that's the moment. That's when that's when this story starts. Okay, there was a story when you were gleaming your parents' eye, and when you do your numbers, you can see. And that, another thing. Well, let me finish the birth time. So that's why it's so powerful. That's the beginning of the story. That's when you set your feet down on the path. So you get that time, and what that time is, it indicates this special power that you have, that you can manifest, that you can choose to manifest. You came to, this is your reason, really. Mm-hmm. And you came to inspire, like your life path and whatever. Now you have interestingly enough, you have a gift number for your birth time. But it's all gift numbers are very, very powerful. And your gift number is 19.
Okay. Now, what is that? Now, does the 19 break down to a single number?
A 1.
Okay.
Yes, it breaks down to a 1. The 1 is the leader and the innovator. Okay? Very powerful. very, very powerful. The 19, the gift number of the 19 is that, again, it's, and you're 11 too, which is like, I mean, this, like I said, this year is, it's so powerful. There's so much energy coming through this year. Like I said before, when we were talking before the show, it can seem overwhelming, but you just, the way to do it is just take the next right step, the next right step, the next right step. So the one is, that's the leader. That's the innovator. So you couple that with everything else, and you just put a bead on what you want, and you just keep going. And that's what that is. So and that's what you do whenever you need to figure something out. Just remember, no, this is one of my superpowers.
Yeah, I've always I've always felt that I was like a leader rather than a follower. I was always the person that would listen, but I would always be the type of person that would lead to set that example.
Yes, and the gift of the 19 also is that when you realize the full potential of the 19, it is after listening, because the one, I mean, there are good sides and not so good sides to numbers. There's different aspects to numbers. So that the 19 has to be sensitive and consider the options, but not for too long. But the dark side of the 19 is that they don't consider the options, and they just plow through everything, including people. So yes, but the gift is that when you realize the power of the 19, it's after you've listened and you've learned and you have the wisdom to take the next right step and to take it quickly.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Okay, so let's get into some other questions. Enough about me.
What about you?
So what are the degrees and qualifications that you have for doing numerology?
The degree that, I don't have a numerology degree. I've just been studying it all my life.
Okay.
So I have, yes, but I have studied with enlightened masters, including Rama, Paramahamsa, Nityananda, and Alma, and being around those folks and meditating with them and getting initiated by them, you tend to amp up your abilities and get certain directions. So those are my metaphysical studies. I have 2 degrees. I have a degree in political science and one in music. So I'm never really pointing towards numerology, even though Vince was a numerologist, and there are a lot of musicians who are numerologists. So it's that, there are schools of numerology, and one of Hans Tikos is he's one of my heroes. He's a very, very famous numerologist. Don't agree with everything he says, but especially politically, but he is so brilliant. And he has covered so much. And, a lot of these numerologists have their own systems of mapping out the number chart. He has a very interesting system with stars and lines and all that sort of thing. And he has a course that you can take.
Okay.
Yeah. So that long answer to your short question.
Yeah. All right. So for those that do not know what numerology is all about, can you explain how numerology came about and everything like that?
Yes. Okay. Numerology is the study of numbers in order to divine or gain insight into the past, present, or future and future. Right. So that's what it is, and it is as old as time. And no one really knows when exactly it was discovered, but it goes back to the ancient Hindus. Was 5500 BCE, and numerology is mentioned in the Vedas, and there's a lot of different systems of numerology. There's the Chaldean system, the Kabbalic system. There's Vedic numerology,
which I didn't know about. All I knew is there was numerology, but I didn't know there was all these different systems.
Yes, there are different systems. Yeah, I use the Pythagorean system, and very straightforward, and it's not only straightforward, but I do all my experiments on myself. So I've done my numbers and I've compared them with other numbers, and I find that the Pythagorean system is the most accurate. Now, other people think that Chaldean numerology is the most accurate, or Kabbalah, but
well, of course, everybody's got their own different belief system and everything like that.
Yeah.
So,
well, Pythagoras supposedly studied with the Chaldeans in Egypt before he started his own school. So he took Pythagoras is considered the father of numerology because he codified it in a way that was more accessible. Even though he had like he was like a rock star, and he had a secret school, and he admitted both men and women, and you had to take an oath and practice silence. I mean, it was like this secret society. It was so cool, and he was just so charismatic, like literally like a rock star. So, and he codified all these methods, and so his system became very popular, and then it was revived by a number of people in the early 1900s, and bringing us to today. And people still put their own spins on it.
Yeah, it's always going to happen. What are because I was looking at another website about numerology, and they mentioned about compatible and incompatible numbers. What are those? Or is it such of a thing?
No, this is real. This is real, but it is so fascinating because I'm going to tell you something. Numbers, just like the universe, are expanding. This is what I call bending the numbers. Okay? Because some people are like, well, is numerology accurate? Yes, it is. But numerology is evolving just like the universe. And we can bend the numbers. So, okay, you want to know about, I'm going to give the quick and dirty. Okay? So I hope everyone can play along at home. Okay? All right? So everyone play, okay. So, like, if you're, so can we do, like, the simple life path, like, calculations people can?
Yeah.
Okay, so just to do, everyone to do wants to do their numbers and see if they're matched to the right person or if they should get a divorce or totally kidding, because that's what I call bending the numbers. So there's some couples that defy these systems, but a lot of them are in the public eye, and I would say that we don't necessarily know if their information is completely correct, but there's also a lot of other stuff going on behind the scenes. So anyway, okay, so let's do our numbers. So can we use you as an example? 12, 26, 19, 13? Okay, good. Okay, so you were born on the 26th. Okay, so that means you have a birthday of 8. Okay, 2 plus 6 equals 8. All right. Now, that's your birthday number. Then you have the attitude number, and you get the attitude number by adding the day and the month together. Okay, so you reduce each to a single digit. So you're December 26. So December is 3, 26 is 8, 3 plus 8 is 11. That's how we get at your 11. Okay? Then to get the life path number, we reduce everything, and there, this is another secret sauce method. Don't tell anybody. Okay?
Too late.
Okay. So first you reduce everything to a single digit. Okay, so you reduce the 12 to 3, 1 plus 2 is 3, the 26 to an 8, and the 1973, you can do 1 plus 9. Here's a quick and dirty tip. If there's a 9 in anything, just take it out, because anything added to the 9, when reduced to a single digit, is the number that was added to the 9. Okay, so like let's say you have 4 plus 9, it equals 13, 1 plus 3 is 4, so that was before that. Okay, so just take out the 9. So 1 plus 7 is 8, 8 plus 3 is 11. Okay, but we reduce this to a single digit, which is the 2. So now we have the 3 plus the 8 plus the 2. Okay, and so as we talked about before, you already know that you are a 4 life path, but you're not just a 4 life path, you're a 13-4 life path. Okay?
Okay.
So, right? So, that's a gift number, but it's a very, very very powerful number. Okay, so that I hope that explains a little bit. I may be going kind of fast, but
Yeah,
that's another reason to listen to your.
yeah, well, there are some listeners that are bad at math. Me, I was good at math and everything like that, because in high school, my math teacher supposed to know math, correct? And well, I actually had to teach her and the whole class algebra. She didn't know how to do algebra. And I never had done algebra before, but I actually looked up in a book, learned how to do it real quick, and I ended up teaching the class on how to do algebra. So math is
That's
one
fantastic.
math is one thing I'm good at.
I say it's fantastic. I mean, it's not really fantastic because it's horrifying, but it's fantastic that you did that. And yeah, well, thank you. And I bet all your classmates, thank you. So that's, and there are, okay, so I hope that was clear. It's just the basics. I don't want to get too detailed so we don't fry too many noodles too soon. But, just reduce every part of the birthday to a single digit, add it all together. There are certain numbers that you don't reduce. I mean, you ultimately reduce them, like 13.4, but you keep the number before it's reduced to that number. So you keep the 13. You want to see the 13, so it's a 13.4, not just a 4, but a 13.4. So the numbers that you don't reduce are 11, master number 11, gift number 13, gift number 14, gift number 16, gift number 19, and master number 22.
Yeah.
Okay? Right? So you would reduce everything to a single digit and then add the different components up and then find out what you get. Now, after that, you look to the birthday again. Okay? And if the birthday is a master or a gift number, you don't reduce it. And you do the addition again. And you write that number down. Okay? And then you write the total down. So let's say, it could even be like a 13.22.4. But, okay, so that's a little complicated. And if you got that, fantastic. If not, it's not really that important for right now. Okay. So as far as natural match numbers go, this is real. It is real, and if you have a lot of challenges with another person, chances are you're going to find it in the numbers. And people also want to know about karmic relationships. You can also see that in the numbers. It's fascinating. Okay, so if you're a one life path and you've done all that, you've reduced everything to a single digit, your life path, once again, is your day, month, and year of birth reduced to a single digit. That's the simplest way to do it.
I was going to ask, because for those that don't know about how to get the life path, I was going to ask, how do people get to that life path number? But you already were talking about it, so let you continue.
So that makes sense, right? So you just take your day, month, year, and single digit. So the one life path, your natural match numbers are 1, 5, and 7. Okay? And they're gradations, but we'll just go natural match and challenge. Your challenge numbers are 4 and 6. Okay? Now, there's the life path, the attitude, and the birthday number. So there are different ways that you can match up or be challenged by somebody. But we're going to just talk about the life path. But you can note in your own chart where these numbers fall. But we'll just talk about the life path number right now. Okay, so again, for 1, natural match 1, 5, and 7. Challenge numbers 4 and 6. If you're a 2 life path, your natural match numbers are 2, 4, and 8. Your challenge numbers are 5 and 7. 3 life path, your natural match numbers are 3, 6, and 9. This is one of the most beautiful combinations ever. And the challenge numbers are 4, 7, and 8. If you're 4 life path, your natural match numbers are 2, 4, and 8. Your challenge numbers are 1, 3, 5, and 9. 5 life path, your natural matches are 1, 5, and 7. Your challenge numbers are 2, 4, and 6. 6 life path, your natural match is 3, 6, and 9. Challenge numbers are 1, 5, and 7. 7, your natural match numbers are 1, 5, and 7. Your challenge numbers are 2, 3, 6, 8, and 9. And if you're an 8, your natural match numbers are 2, 4, and 8. Your challenge numbers are 3, 7, and 9. If you're a 9, your natural match numbers are 3, 6, and 9. And your challenge numbers are 4, 7, and 8. Okay, does that make sense? That was kind of the quick and dirty.
Yeah, not a problem. But we are at the commercial break. We'll be right back with more with my guests on the numbers and what they mean and what they hold in store for us after the short commercial break. We'll be right back with my guest, Miss M.
Must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for everything that I've done. But when I call, you never seem to be home. Hello from
what's going on in the chat room?
At least I can say that I've tried to tell you I'm sorry for breaking your heart, but it don't matter.
This Valentine's Day, get the ghost hunting love of your life something they will love from GhostStop.com. If you love to play board games together, well, GhostStop has Ghostbusters Monopoly for $39.95. Or how about a gadget holster for all their equipment, now on sale for $19.95. Click on the banner ad at the top of the Talk in the Night website and get shopping today. GhostStop.com, your one-stop shop for all your ghost hunting needs. Do you have a paranormal team? Are you a small-time author? Do you have a radio show that you would like to promote? Is there anything that you would like to get the word out there about but don't have a big budget? Well, Talk in the Night has an opportunity for you to sponsor the show without breaking your wallet. Contact the show at talkinthetonight@outlook.com or on the show's website or Facebook page for more details.
How do you pop into the chat?
Do you think you have a haunted or cursed object? What Nicole Gaspard does, and in her book Haunted Vessels and Cursed Objects, she talks about her
can you tell people how to do it?
paranormal and supernatural ghost encounters, haunted dolls, and other items that are supposed to be haunted or cursed. Pick up your copy today on Amazon.com.
Like I have to go nowhere. If someone ever asks me, I can never say where I will be. And people say that someday I will lose my mind. They're always wondering why is a waste of time. I am trying to figure why. In my heart I still feel fire. Anything.
All right, I can't. I'm not gonna go in there because I'm gonna get distracted, I think.
Okay, and we are back with my guest, Miss M, as we talk about numerology and the numbers. And before the break, we were talking about life path numbers and master numbers and everything like that. And for those that did not get that, we're sorry. We'll try to mention the numbers a little bit slower so you can catch them. But for those that did not catch it, I will eventually, as soon as I get time, I'll go back and write it all down and post it on the show's website and Facebook page. So let's get into some things, some other things, because we already talked about the life path number, and you mentioned a little bit about the attitude number. What is that, and how do we find out that number?
Okay, the attitude number is the day and month of birth reduced to a single digit. And that's the first calculation. And then if you have a birthday that's a gift number, again, the gift numbers are 13, 4, 16, and 19, and master numbers 11, 22. If you have any of those, first you reduce everything to a single digit, and that's your first attitude number. Then you go back up. And if you have a gift number, then you take that gift number, and then you add it unreduced to the month number, and then you write that down. Okay? And that's, so you might have like a 2, 11, 2, something like that. Does that make sense? So you first reduce everything to a single digit, and you get that number, and you go back up, and you see if you have a gift number or a master number, and you don't reduce it, and you add that to the month number, and then you write that down, and then you write down the final reduction again.
Okay.
And that's the attitude number. And the attitude number is how you approach things.
Okay, so just how you kind of respond to things happening around you and stuff like that.
Right. Right. It's how you behave with people, with situations, that kind of thing. It's how people perceive you. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
pretty much the simple answer. All right. Now, I know on the show's website, and everything, you sent me a link. It's up on the show's website under the radio show tab. Click on the guest of the show. Look for Miss M on there. There's a YouTube video that you did, and I shared.
Oh, yes, my video.
I shared it there. I shared it on the Talk in the Night Facebook page about the forecast for 2018. Care to elaborate a little more on that?
Sure, absolutely. Okay. Now, again, a very, very powerful year. We already talked about how, excuse me, I have to get some water. Can you hang on a second?
Yeah, not a problem. I got my water sitting beside me, too, but I'm usually drinking it during my commercial breaks.
I drank some more, and I just had to catch more.
Yeah.
All right, so, yes, so this is, as we've already discussed, is an 11 universal year. It's a really, really powerful, okay? It's a master number year. It's not just a 2. Some people are like, oh, it's a 2. No, it's an 11-2. 11 is, it has a lot of depth. It is the number, okay. It represents manipulation, duality, creative vision, psychic powers, healing, and so we'll deal with those for now. And I also say all this on the video. So all that stuff is in this year. Now 11s, if you're an 11 life path, 11 attitude, 11 birthday, okay, you know, if you're in your power, you know you can manifest things, and people around you are like, what? How did you do that? If you're out of power, you're probably bless all of your hearts. Bless all of your hearts. I feel for you, because the 11 out of power, you know, every number out of power has certain characteristics, can get so tired they can get out of bed, because they are constantly drained by everything. They can't get on top of things. They can't manage their life. They are, like we discussed before, they can go crazy.
Yeah.
Because there's all this stuff going on, and they have no understanding of how to process it. But if you're even slightly in your power, God bless you. Okay, so because the 11, just like this year, the 11s are master manifestors, okay, that they have a natural gift. Their emotions are very powerful, and because of their life experience, they understand the connection between their intent, their emotions, and what they see on the dashboard of their life. They understand. They just have this ability because of the things that they've been through. They're like, oh, wait a minute. I wanted that. I did this, this, and this. I thought this, this, and this, and then it outpictured in my life. So, and they start to internalize this method, and it just becomes second nature. Now, they can be manifesting things that they don't want when they're out of power too, because they're that powerful. Now, that pixie dust, that ability falls on everybody to a greater or lesser degree. You know, whether you're in tune with your psychic abilities or not. Everyone is psychic. That we are all part of this consciousness. Everybody is psychic. That all this pixie dust falls on it.
Well, there's a way that I kind of I've explained it before on my show, and I'll explain it again. And you'll probably love this explanation for everybody has that ability to have that third eye open to where they can see and communicate with spirits and psychically involved in everything like that. And I describe it as the Santa Claus effect. And the way I describe that is when we're young, and if you got small kids, have them tune off just because I don't want to destroy their perception. I always have to put that disclaimer out there. But when we're young, we're told Santa Claus is real. And as we grow older, we're told that he's not real. Well, same thing with our psychic ability. When we're young, our minds are not corrupted by the everyday world, and we can see and communicate with spirits and see things. But as we grow older, we're told that a lot of us are told it's just our imagination, it's imaginary frame, it's not real, and stuff like that. And it gets pushed from the front of your mind in that third eye all the way to the deepest, darkest parts of your subconscious. And a lot of people do not know how to unlock that ability anymore.
Yeah.
And that's the simplest way that I can explain that.
That's good.
And people are like, really? That actually makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah, and so, but this year, the 11 year, is what another thing was happening. It's like the sun is shining, and you just have to go outside.
Yeah.
You just have to go outside and say the sun is shining, and that you'll be clued in. Just be see numbers. One of the reasons numbers heal is that they are the DNA of this consciousness, this dimension of consciousness. There are lots of other dimensions, but they are the DNA of this dimension, and we all agree on it. We all get it.
Yeah.
So when we hear truth, when we see truth, it resonates. We, and sometimes we can wave it away. Sometimes we say, no, I don't want to believe it. But there's a resonance. And this year, we all have greater access to that resonance, to feeling that truth, and to using our intuition to benefit ourselves and to benefit others.
Yeah.
So that's one of the gifts of this year. And I will say this, and I can go down the year and what's ahead of us. Is that kind of because I just want to say also that I don't like making negative forecasts, and there's a reason.
Yeah,
okay, because because if you make a negative forecast, then part of your energy is attached to that negative forecast and into it panning out, because otherwise you're wrong. Now, you are attached to that negativity. If you're too focused on it, like just, ego or whatever, then that negativity starts to bleed into everything else that you're doing, that you're forecasting, and it's a low vibe. The initial hit might have been accurate on some level in some dimension, but the negativity will bleed into everything else if you focus on it, and it will throw everything else off. Also, if you make a negative forecast and you put it out there and people focus on it, everyone has a hand in that panning out. So what you want to do is you want to get out in front and you want to see the pot. Now I don't want to be a Pollyanna. I don't want to say that everything is rainbows and unicorns either, because I want to speak the truth as I hear it. But the truth is just that. It's not, if there's too much of a slant, even to the happy, even to like the ecstatic, that's also ego. So just whatever it is, and I try and stay away from negative. So I will preface what I'm going to say with that, okay? In the forecast video, I'm sorry, please interrupt me.
Not a problem. No, because I was going to actually mention about something as far as like a negative forecast, because every year I do an annual prediction show. And of course, this year I mentioned about some major earthquakes and volcanoes erupting and earthquakes striking and stuff like that. But of course, being a Capricorn, I'm more in tune to the earth and everything like that. Earth and air, I believe it is, or earth and water, one of the two, I forget. I think it's earth and water, I believe, but...
I do numbers, not astrology.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm getting at is when I did the prediction and everything like that, some of these things are coming real. I don't focus on them. I just made the prediction and left it at that. But in 2005, when Hurricane Katrina hit, before it even hit the east coast of Florida, I was able to actually pinpoint on a map the same exact town where the eye of the storm hit, right there by New Orleans and in Mississippi, that little small town. I was able to just, like I said, it was probably a day off the east coast of Florida, and I looked at the map and I said, that's exactly where the eye of the storm is going to hit. Sure enough, that's where the eye of the storm hit.
Wow.
And I hate making those forecasts, but it just comes to me.
Yeah. And I think that's legitimate. But there are some people that really milk it. Like, that's their whole focus. And I'm not going to mention names.
Yeah.
But there are some folks that have gone to the left because they've started on the negative, and it gets a lot of press because, hey, shoot, that's like fear porn, right?
Yeah.
But if you make that your focus, I don't want to pass judgment, even though I'm passing judgment. I don't think that's anyway. So,
Yeah, I know what you mean. Now, like I said, we were talking about the forecast that you made. What are some of the things that you in the forecast that you made for this year?
Okay, so one of the things that first, Donald Trump. Okay, now whatever your political leanings are, okay, this is you have his personal year. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this is a 22-4 year for Donald Trump. So if he were a sports team, I wouldn't bet against him. Okay? He's large and in charge this year. And that's another reason that, he can go over the top, and he knows it. But when people are like, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing, no, he does. And some of his press conferences, I remember his first press conference was on an 11-day. And I'm like, that's not an accident. He's got people helping him. And there were, some of the people that bit the dust in his administration, they had challenging numbers to his 11. And with Donald Trump, one thing that I'll say about Donald Trump is that it's yes, sir, please, sir, thank you, sir. That's it. And you can, if you are a John Kelly, thank God, John Kelly has the respect of Donald Trump, and he can talk to Donald Trump. He can be the Trump whisperer, okay? and he can balance out some of his decisions. But there is one person in charge in Washington, and it's Donald Trump. And you can't, you can consult and you can tell him truth, and he is, and I'm telling you this, he is willing to listen, because ultimately his focus is stability, whether you believe it or not. That's
I know there's
right.
going to be a lot
so
of people
plain.
out there that don't think that. Of course,
they don't. And his behavior, he does that on purpose. Just so the folks out there playing at home know, there are reasons that he does this crazy stuff. But I will also say that because there's so much power this year, he can also go to the left. I'm not saying he's perfect, but he might say things a little wonky, even beyond what he means to do, what he's intending to do. So, but he is definitely large and in charge this year, and his focus is stability, and it is a broad view. It is not narrow, and people want to pin certain things on him. It is not a narrow view. He is trying. I know it doesn't seem that way, but again, this is an 11-year, and I will also say this about the 11-year. It is the funhouse mirrors of years.
Yeah.
Funhouse mirror. Funhouse mirror, a subtraction.
Yeah, so
of years. That's what it means.
5 times.
Yeah. Right. Just get it right, because nothing is what it seems. So that's what we all have to realize. And numbers help us understand what the truth that's running through everything. And you can understand that truth because of the pattern. That's how you know. It's like when Neo in the Matrix, after he quote unquote died, he woke up and he stopped that bullet. He realized that he was in charge, and he saw the zeros and ones. He saw the DNA of the Matrix, and he had that enlightenment experience. When you study numbers, you'll also see that. Okay, so Donald Trump is large and in charge, and you can do the numbers and you can see that. So his personal year 13/22/4. Okay, that is, he's going to be working hard. There are also people that think he doesn't work hard. That's not true either. He works hard, and he has worked hard all his life. And I could talk about him for a while, because there's another show that can I mention another show that doesn't conflict with yours?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, it's called The Bigger Picture. It's on KRLA, Salem Media Network, and it's on Sunday nights from 10 to 12 Pacific. And I go on about once a month, and I talk to those cats, and they're very conservative. And it's kind of funny that I do like these numerology forecasts, but because of that, I've really looked into Donald Trump and the administration. So, I've done some research, and they have podcasts and archives, and you can listen, and it's hilarious.
Okay.
Anyway, so okay, so did you want to ask me?
I was going to say, go ahead and finish your thought, but I was going to ask about some of the other stuff that you forecasted.
Right.
And
yeah. Okay, so the stock market. Okay, I forecasted a correction next month. Okay, next month is a 14.5, and so what's going on now? I don't call this a correction. I call this an adjustment. It's going to get wonky next month. Okay, it's going to get really wonky. It's going to recover somewhat, but it won't. In June, it will do very well. But until June, there are going to be swings that are going to freak people out, and the correction is coming next month. You don't call this a correction. Call this an adjustment. Correction is coming next month. Okay. Now, it's
all over the news about the stock market going crazy and stuff like that right now.
Right. Right, it happened on an 8th day, and a lot of people made a lot of money, and it was an adjustment. And again, this year is the personal year of the stock market is actually the same as the universal year, and that's another thing that you can note. There are so many 11s in the history of the United States. The stock market is actually 11. The U.S. was born on 11, July 4th, 1776. 7 plus 4 is on 11. Okay, that's the attitude number, how we approach things. So that's what's going on with the stock market. There are going to be swings, but it's still going to do well. Real estate is also going to do very well if you have investments in real estate. Just hang on to your hats, because the stock market is going to do really well next year. Okay, this year it's going to be crazy, like scary crazy, but it's still going to do well. Now, as far as North Korea and Kim Jong-un, this is very interesting because he has a number.
I wanted to ask about, because with the whole Olympics in South Korea coming up in Day, I think it is.
Yes. Well, isn't it interesting? His sister is now making a trip to South Korea. Now, everyone's saying he's crazy and he wants to start a war. No. These are not the actions of someone who wants to start a war. And everyone who said that Donald Trump was crazy for doing all this, brinksmanship with the name calling and, that sort of thing. Okay, I don't call myself a Trump whisperer, but I think that it seems obvious to me, and to a lot of pundits, that he was out crazying Kim Jong-un, who's not crazy. But Kim Jong-un, okay, his life path, the one that there are a number of different birthdays actually for Kim Jong-un that he has. The one that I have is August 1st, 1984, okay, and that would mean that his life path is a 13-4, okay? And you might recognize that. So,
for me.
right, exactly. So, but he is a 13. Anyway, okay, so he wants stability. He really wants stability, and people look to him for direction, and that's just the way it is. But the thing is, he also had a difficult relationship, and I'm getting into psychology, a difficult relationship with his father again, and that has colored a lot of the way he approaches things. Okay, so it's very deceptive. But his personal year is, guess what, 11. Okay, so all of his posturing too is to create an effect, and he is a dictator. He's a classic dictator. His father was even more of a classic dictator, but he's a classic dictator. And yeah, what he wants to do is he is trying to, just like the 11. Anyone who has 11 military, he has to create the environment. He has to tell people what's going on, because he is, literally in his country, he is seen as a god. So he has to control the dimmer switch. Do we have to go to break?
No, we still got 2 minutes.
Okay. So this year, as an 11, now, like I said, the pixie dust falls on all of us. It is also his personal year, universe year, and it's his personal year. Okay, so he is really trying to create an environment, a world for his people, and he has been desperately trying to do that. And Trump has been out crazying Kim Jong-un. He has not been able to pull his usual stuff, and so he has to go around it, but he will find a way. And right now, OMG, his sister is going to South Korea. That's never happened before.
Yeah,
these are not the actions of someone who wants to, start a huge conflagration, right?
Yeah.
So that's the focus. Also, Donald Trump's life path is a 4. Ultimately, it's a 4. So they're, on some level, they do understand each other.
Okay.
And
go ahead and finish your thought real quick.
It's it's a geopolitical game. It's a scary geopolitical game, but they are both focused on stability, and Kim Jong-un is really focused on his image this year. And so it's best if, he knows that in the eyes of the world he has to look a certain way, and in the eyes of his people he has to look a certain way. Okay. And that's really his focus, yeah.
Well, we're going to go into a break. We're at the top of the hour. We'll be right back with more of numerology and what the numbers hold in store for us right after the short commercial break, and we'll get into your phone calls after this break.
Okay, did I answer your question? I know there's just so much to say that I have more to say. But am I answering your question?
If you like old-time talk shows, then you must tune in to Night Dreams Talk Radio.
You're welcome.
You have holes to big.
Send them a heart for me.
Do we say black-eyed children? You'll find Night Dreams Talk Radio on TuneIn, iHeart, iTunes, and all the major apps. But on TuneIn, they're live 7 to 9 p.m. West Coast time.
Oh, I also want to talk about the sexual harassment thing.
Guests, Night Dreams.
I just wanted to talk about sexual harassment.
Do you have an interest in the paranormal? Well, tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Pacific on the Talk in the Night Facebook page or Ask
people calling
Phil.
important.
The show is a Facebook Live show where he gets into different topics about the paranormal and answers your questions. That's Ask Paranormal Phil every Tuesday night, only on the Talk in the Night Facebook page.
Do you have a talk radio, Facebook Live, or YouTube show and would like guests for your show but don't know where to go to get them? Well, go to radioguestlist.com and sign up today. They have all different experts in different fields, and you can find the ones that are just right for your show. That's radioguestlist.com. Sign up today. It's free.
Talking in my sleep at night, making myself crazy. Out of my mind, out of my mind. Wrote it down and read it out, hoping it would save me. Too many times. My love, he makes it feel like nobody else. But my love,
to call into the show, Skype Paranormal Phil, or by phone at 951-223-5055. And now, back to Talk in the Night with your host, Paranormal Phil.
Okay, we are into the last hour of the show. The phone lines are open. If you have a question about numerology for my guests, the numbers to call in, you just heard them, but I'll mention them again. By Skype, just Skype Paranormal Phil, and we'll get you on the show. Or if you do not have Skype and you want to call into the show, just using the call-in number. The number is 951-223-5055. So, we were talking during the commercial break. Of course, the listeners couldn't hear that. And you said you wanted to talk about the numbers in sexual harassment or something like that?
Yeah. Okay, well, first, a lot of people were accused of sexual harassment. And because this is a 2-year, we're going to see different sides of every story. So a lot of really horrifying stories of sexual harassment are coming out right now. But there's also going to be a dark side to that, too, and people are going to take advantage, and we've already seen that. Some people are going to take advantage of this movement to harm people in the public eye. And that does not diminish the actual authentic story. But unfortunately, it will taint the movement. Now, there were a lot of people that were accused that just dropped like stones, like Al Franken. There's Harvey Weinstein. That's a horror. I mean, that's a horror show, and I have his numbers too, and I'll play with that. But what Al Franken did and what Roy Moore did are very different. But I'm sorry, I'm forgetting him. And Harvey Weinstein did. That's Harvey Weinstein or Roy Moore. Okay, well, let me start. I'm talking about Harvey Weinstein, and I want to talk about Harvey Weinstein, Roy Moore, and someone else, and Al Franken. Okay, so let me just start with Harvey Weinstein. Yeah. Harvey Weinstein. Okay, that's a horror. Okay, horror, and there's so many people coming out, and people telling the same types of stories, but no one's gone to trial. Okay, but yet, I mean, his reputation is ruined. Like, he has a bunch of difficult months ahead of him. In fact, next month is going to be particularly difficult for Harvey Weinstein. But it's interesting because it's a powerful year for him. But with what's going on, he's going to have to reinvent himself from the inside out, and just. The allegations are extremely, extremely serious. All right, but let's just say he dropped like a stone. Really did. I mean, he got away with it for a really long time. He is a 19 birthday, right? That's a gift number. Lots of power, and lots of ways to direct it. His attitude number is a 422. 4. Okay, 22 is the master number, the master builder. So he got away with it for a while, but he was accused, and he could say he dropped like a stone. Okay, Al Franken also was accused. Okay, what he did does not even compare. Now, if what Al Franken did to, let's say, Leanne Tweeden, and if what he did to your sister, your mom, you'd kill him. I mean, it's gross. It's disgusting. But it's not what Harvey Weinstein did. Come on. It's almost, it's immature, it's wrong, but it's not what Harvey Weinstein did. But also, Al Franken dropped the stone. Okay? Yeah. Lots of people, everyone being accused right now, you don't have to have anything to back it up. They're just taking people out left and right. And a lot of it is true, but some of it is not. Because now let's talk about Roy Moore and even and someone else. Okay, but first, Roy Moore, was running for a seat in the Alabama Senate, right? And he had all these women accusing him of sexual harassment. Like, one was 14. I mean, it's just like horrible. There was no trial, nothing. I'm not saying that I know what really happened, okay? What I am saying is that not only did he keep running for the seat, but he got more donations. He kept going. And he doubled down. He's like, no, I didn't do this. And he kept going. Even with all these horrible accusations. Same types of accusations that others had received, that were validated by other women. But he just kept going. And I'm like, that's fascinating. Why is he able to do that, but let's say Al Franken passed to resign? This guy is still running, and he's getting more donations. Okay? Then there's someone else, Geraldo Rivera. Okay? He wrote a book, what was it called? Exposing Myself. That's like a sexual harassment Bible. Okay? Where he's going into detail. And I mean, he's going on talk shows. Nothing's happening with him. Like, that's fascinating, because now he himself is detailed. He got out in front of it. He apologized to Beth Midler and whatnot. He got out in front of it. Okay, but still? Okay? So I'm looking at Geraldo Rivera. I'm looking at Roy Moore. What is going on? Why are they, like, even thriving? Roy Moore lost his seat, but I think there was some funny business stuff, too. But anyway, what he was running for. But So what's going on? Why were they able to continue while other people were just being taken out left and right? And they're both 11s. Okay? So the 11 controls the dimmer switch. The 11 controls room, especially, and there are a lot of 11s who are high up in power, not just Donald Trump. There were a lot of people in his cabinet, too. Actually, that fell by the wayside because you can't have, if two 11s, or I say it's like scanners. You can't have two 11s in the same room if they don't agree on something. They'll blow each other up like scanners, okay, like that movie. So if two 11s are working together, they have to agree, like Michelle Obama and Barack Obama, both 11s. Okay, you have to agree on the same dream. If you don't, you'll destroy each other. But back to Roy Moore and Geraldo, they're 11s, and they control the environment, and they did it very well. And Geraldo's still doing it, and Roy Moore is also still doing it. You know, and there are still people who are defending Roy Moore, and we don't know what happened because there was a lot of funny business with a lot of the accusations too. So we don't know what happened. But all I'm saying is that these types of accusations that fell on a lot of other people were able to take out other people. They didn't take out Geraldo, and they didn't take out Roy Moore. And I just think that it's fascinating that they're both 11. They have that kind of power to shape other people's opinions. Right? That's sexual harassment. Now, as far as Harvey Weinstein, now again, he is the 19. He abused his power. He abused his power. He's a 19 birthday, and he's a 22 attitude. He abused his power, and he's a 3 life path, which is the number of entertainment. Okay? Then Rose McGowan, okay, I find it fascinating that her life path is 16-7. Okay? The 16 is a gift number, and the 16 indicates that you're going to have to make a sacrifice for a higher purpose. Literally. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, whoa, that's exactly what she did. I don't want to be programming, so I won't say what I was going to say, but that's what she did.
Yeah.
And she put it all out there, and she took a huge risk. And she's one of the founders of this movement, the Me Too movement. Okay? So that's what I wanted to say about the sexual harassment thing. And we're going to see people dropping like stones and others that are just going to double down, say, no, I didn't do it. And both, you may see two different people, same types of accusations. One keeps going, the other one has to leave public
bow out and stuff like that. Now, I did have a listener ask a question. I told him I was going to have him call in, but he don't want to. It's late where he's at, and he don't want to wake people up. But he wanted to know about his numbers. He gave out his numbers. 6/6/1973.
Okay, so he was born June 6, 1973?
Yes.
There's 1 second. Okay. All right, so what does he want to know?
Well, let's see. I don't know if I guess he just wanted to know, kind of like a.
Okay, because I would want him on the phone. I would want him on the phone because I could ask him.
Actually, I got a
stuff.
call coming in. Let's get the call first, and then we'll get into those numbers. Okay, so let's see if I can get it to answer. Okay, you're on Talk of the Night with my guest, Miss M. Go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, Phil. Hello. Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, Nicole. All right,
Sorry, I have a bit of a cold.
That's all right. So you had a question for Miss M?
Sure. What if I know what my numbers are? Like, sure. Reading?
Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Miss M, you there? Okay, hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. Merge calls. Okay, so there we go. Sorry, I forgot to merge the calls. I'm sorry. Miss M, you there? Okay, let's see. I merged the calls. Did everything that. Let's see. I hope I didn't lose my guess. Okay, there we go. Hold on. Let me get the number. Okay, you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So I had a listener was asking about her numbers.
I didn't hear any of it.
I'm sorry. I think I might have lost the call. Let's see. Hold on. Because what it did is I went to merge the numbers and I hit resume call, and Skype is oh shoot. Okay, for those let's see, is Em, you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, my caller, I hit the wrong button is what it was, and I wanted to yeah, go ahead and call back, Nicole. I just hit the wrong button is all I did. I meant to merge the numbers, so when I do that, it might put you on hold for a second, so just so you know. But we'll get her back on the phone as soon as she makes a call, because she wanted to know about her numbers and everything. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's try this again. Alright, let's see. Do we got...
Hi, I'm back.
Okay, let me merge the calls. Okay, let's try this. Now, let's see. Alright, Miss M, you there? Okay, Nicole, you're here, right?
Yes.
Okay, now why is it not... Let me merge the calls.
Huh.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay, I gotta really figure out this thing. It's not wanting to merge for some reason. And it sucks because I thought I had figured out the whole Skype thing. I had it working before, but why it's not wanting to do it right, I don't know. So we'll just get the number.
Can they call on the number and then merge the number?
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to do, but it just cuts out the...
I mean...
it either cuts you out or her out. But let's get back to the numbers for the other person real quick, and then we'll get her numbers in the chat. June 6, 1973.
Okay, does he want to give his name?
His name is Bill, and I'll see if he minds me giving out his last name.
Bill is fine.
Okay.
Okay, Bill. You're a mama's boy. Congratulations. Awesome. You probably like to sing, and you like beautiful things. You care about people a great deal. And just to go over your numbers, of course, your birthday is 6, your attitude is 3, 6 is 12, it's 3, and your life path is a 5. Okay, so you need to watch out for women and other addictive substances. And this is where the force comes in, because the force directs your attention. You give the numbers up to the force, and the force docks the shapes and says, "Okay, look here." Okay, so yes, you need to watch out for obsessive ways of being. But as far as this year is a 5 year, so there's a lot of stuff coming at you. You probably were dealing with family stuff in January. This month is an excellent time to take stock of yourself and what you need to do. And if you know how to do a vision board, which I talked about in my video, you can do a vision board. It's a time this month you really want to go into your closet and pray. Okay, you have a better than average ability this month to connect with spirit, and you are very, very sensitive. So take this month, and you may even feel a little lonely this month, but it's not real loneliness. It's actually the call of spirit. You need to take this time and pray and really map out your year on what you want to do, and you're going to have really spectacular results. You're going to be traveling a lot this year. You may even be moving. But the key for this year, since you're a life path 5 and this is a personal year of 5 for you, you're made for this type of year. The 5 has to roll with the punches, and you are a multitasker. You can get into drama sometimes, but the thing that saves you, Bill, is that you're kind of a kid inside. And so when too much stuff is coming at you, you go back to being a kid, and that's one of your strengths, and bless your heart. It's one of the reasons that people love you. And just roll with the punches this year. Do whatever you need to do. Keep your eyes on the prize. Again, this month, create your vision. Keep a beat on what you want, and just keep going. There's going to be a lot of changes this month. July. Okay, so I can go on. But July is going to be a very sweet month for you. So just know that is coming. You just roll with the punches. Get your vision down this month, and you're truly a lovely person. Thank you. Thank you, Bill, for being you.
Yeah, I think I figured out why it wouldn't merge, because that's why I like to have my guests call in via Skype. So when it's trying to merge two numbers, I think it is two numbers just calling in the Skype number instead of the Skype, then it just kind of cancels each other out. I think that's what it is. I'll have to look into it later. But we had Nicole, the one that was trying to call in to ask you. She gave her numbers May 30th, 1972.
Okay, hang on. I do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay, so you said May 9th?
May 30th, 1972.
I'm sorry. Okay. May 30th, 1972?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, isn't that interesting? He's a 3, and Bill was a 3. Odds again. 3. Okay, does she have a specific question? Does she have a question?
Let's
wants
see.
to know?
Yeah, I'll find out.
She wants me to tell her. She wants me to tell her who she is.
Basically,
you are Nicole. This is who you are.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I was joking.
Oh, okay. So let's see. She said basically a general reading as far as the numbers, like what her life path number is and stuff like that.
Okay, your life path. All right. So first, your birthday is 30, so that's a 3. Your May, so that's a 5, right? So 5 plus 3 is 8. Your object number is an 8. So 1972, that we can take out the 9, so then we have the 1 that's left over, right? So that your life path is a 9. Excuse me, I'm so glad that we're doing the 9. Okay, the 9 is a very special number, okay? And I feel for 9s, right? 9s often, more often than not, have horrific family issues. And Nicole, I feel for you deeply, all right? And I'm not going to say I know what you've been through, but I know what you've been through, okay? So I want you to know right now, one of the ways the numbers heal is that when we look at the numbers, we can see why we've gone through stuff. And a lot of times it has to do with abuse, okay? Abuse of all types, emotional, physical, all types. And why? Because when we're kids, we don't understand. We don't understand why we're going through stuff. A lot of the time, we blame ourselves. And, of course, that creates PTSD later in life and affects everything. But the benefit of numbers. So when we see something like this, when we see a 9 life path in this configuration, we can see that we put ourselves into this family, into this situation for a reason, right? And one of those reasons is that you're a great communicator, Nicole. People really love you, and you really love people. And that's one of your superpowers, okay? And you also have a very pure spirit and a childlike quality, and we've all been through a lot. You've been through a certain type of trauma, and I'm here to tell you that no, it wasn't you. You're not bad, okay? And you probably, you at this point, maybe you understand that, maybe you don't, but when we look at the numbers and we see the reality, we can see how we set this DNA up. It can heal, and I've seen it heal instantly.
Yeah, well,
okay?
she's in great, would you?
Yeah. So you have an uncommon compassion, okay? And that is very much needed in this world, okay? So everything you went through, all the dark places that you feel maybe you're afraid to show, these are the things that are going to heal you and heal others. Sunlight is the best disinfectant, and you will help a lot of people with your story and what you've been through. It's not like you have to go around proselytizing and telling people all the gory details of what. No, all you need to do is stand in your experience, which not everybody can do. But
she's an author, so she has mentioned about her experiences, especially in the paranormal. So I thought I'd mention that.
Yeah. So that's and so for this year, since you're in Attitude 8, your personal year is 1 very awesome, fantastic, amazing time. Okay, this year it's like you have new oxygen in your life. So use it, and this year, it's a year to do and realize what you are really meant to do. And if you're writing, you're really solid in your writing. Now it's time to write that novel or write that biography or whatever that you've been wanting to write, that maybe you've been scared to write, that you've been deliberating about. Just do it and keep going, because this year you're in the lead. You are in the lead. You're not supposed to let anybody tell you what to do. This year is a year of epiphany for you. Okay, so you just go and you keep listening to yourself. I'm very, very psychic. You just keep listening to yourself. And also, I will caution you that people are going to try and get in your face this year, but try not to fire hose people, okay? Because that's going to take you away from your picnic. You also have a fiery temper, bless your heart. You're a very, very passionate person, okay? But just keep channeling those energies into your writing, into what you want to do, and just keep going. You are the innovator. You are in the lead this year, especially. Okay, and take on that new project that you've been wanting to do. This is your permission from the force. Okay, so there you go.
Okay, so we're going to take the last commercial break here. We'll be back with more after this break. For those that still. They gave me out their numbers and everything like that. We'll get back to that after this short commercial break. We'll be right back.
How was that?
Don't hold me back. God knows I've been through.
How was Bill? I didn't hear anything from Bill.
I can taste it in the air, and it leaves me wanting more.
Aww.
You crossed me once.
Sweet.
It's left a bitter taste, and now you push me
That's
and
awesome.
tear you down. If you're man enough to fight, if you're man enough to fall, what are you gonna do with your back against?
Oh, see? It's your year. This is your year. We're all just playing in it.
Do you want to know how to attract love?
money, jobs, success? Well, check out livelifemadeToorder.com. If you go to the products page and mention Talking the Night, you will get 50% off of your order. That's livelifemadeToorder.com.
Okay, I can also talk about the months coming up, which I want to do. I have to...
Be sure to check out the show's website at talkingthenight.weebly.com for some great content such as Story of the Day, This Day in History, and much more. Also, if you missed the show, check out the show's archive page under the Radio Show tab where you can find all the show's listed.
I just started,
and be sure to sign up for the Talking the Night newsletter. Do you have a paranormal team? Are you a small-time author? Do you have a radio show that you would like to promote? Is there anything that you would like to get the word out there about but don't have a big budget? Well, Talking the Night has an opportunity for you to sponsor the show without breaking your wallet. Contact the show at talkingthenight@outlook.com or on the show's website or Facebook page for more details.
Number combination.
Step up to the plate, whatever it takes, don't be shy. Ain't no harm in trying. Ready, steady, and
To call into the show, Skype Paranormal Phil or by phone at 951-223-5055. And now, back to Talking the Night with your host, Paranormal Phil.
Okay, and we are back, and we're in the last half hour of the show. We did a couple readings. I got 2 more readings that I'm going to do, and then we're going to get into a couple other things with my guests, but I want to get these 2 because they already asked about it. The next one is Mike, July 1st, 1962.
Okay, July 1st, 1962. So that's 7/1/1962. Does Mike have a specific question?
They're all pretty much general readings. They don't they don't seem to have a specific question in mind. I guess they probably never knew too much about numerology until tonight.
It fries your noodle. It totally fries your noodle. Okay. Well, Mike, you are a 1 birthday, of course, and your attitude, 7 + 1 is 8. And your life path is 8 because you're born in 1962, and that reduces, of course, to a 9. And anything added to 9 is that number 1 reduced to a single digit. So your attitude is an 8, and your life path is an 8. Okay, so we... Mike, calm down. That's what I'm going to say to you. Calm down. Oh, man.
Wow.
Mike's got so much firepower. Like, sometimes he can, he can overwhelm people. Mike, you know what I'm talking about. But you are a leader. I wonder, is Mike in the military?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not seeing anything, so yeah. I
but he's,
believe not.
Yeah, but he probably supports the military, right? So he appreciates it. He's a natural leader, of course. Mike has a big heart, okay? But what messes Mike up the most when Mike is the bull in the china shop, when everybody needs to get out the way, like we were discussing this before, when people try and scam Mike and play him, that makes him absolutely crazy. And that's when he loses it, and I totally get that. And Mike is kind of a hero in that respect. He has fought for himself and he's fought for others, and certainly that's a very heroic thing. But as Mike knows, at times it has also gotten in his way. It's just he's just got a lot of opinions. He's got a big heart, but he's got a lot of opinions, and sometimes he offends people. He doesn't mean to, but he does. But he's he has a big he's like a big bear. He's a big heart. So Mike, your personal year also is a 1. Okay, so now there may be some home improvement projects, some building things that you're interested in tackling this year. Go for it. And again, since this is the 1, this is the year where you have to just not listen to anybody else. This is the year about leading your own soul into truth. And I've talked about this in some of my videos on my YouTube channel, Miss M Numerology. Please subscribe, because I'm going to be putting some more stuff up, and you'll be the first to see it. All you. And also, if you subscribe, you can be entered in for a free reading, which is kind of cool. Yes. So this is you are the innovator, and you probably have some inventions also that you're thinking about. Now is the time to get them going this year. Okay, and this month, especially if you're in a relationship, if you're dating, it's going to be a very, very sweet time. So really use it. And you're very much, I love saying this, you're very much a guy. You're a guy's guy. And this month you can really be the hero, and it's going to be a fantastic year for you. Since you are a birthday 1 and you have a personal year of 1, you are vibrating a very important part of your soul. So everything you touch will pretty much turn to gold, as long as you don't fire hose people. And maybe even if you do. Okay, so that's the basic reading from Mike.
Okay, and Nicole said thank you for the reading. The last one was Leslie, and that one is August 26, 1961.
How does Leslie spell her name?
Lesley.
Interesting. 8/26/1961. August 26th?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. That's a lot similar to yours, isn't it? Wait, you're 26. Okay. Interesting. He is also an 8 attitude. Have you seen the pattern already?
Yeah,
This
I have.
person, right? Yeah, that's okay. Does that fry any noodles out there? All right. Okay, so she's a 26 birthday, which is an 8 day. And her attitude is, her attitude is a 7. Ooh, we have a 7. Woo! Tell you what. And your life path is 1961, so it's 15, 6, that's a 6. Okay. Okay, so for Leslie, and if Leslie, she just wants a general?
Yes. That's why everybody seems to want, like I said, I don't think they've ever really understood numerology. I mean, I learned a little bit about it, so I know what I'm talking about, especially for tonight. But,
you can ask, and just for anybody, I mean, you can ask anything. You can ask anything, but I'll give you general. This is an important year for Leslie. Leslie is in a 9 personal year, okay? So the 9, and it's so fascinating, I was wanting to talk about this. The 9 and the 7 have a strange attraction repulsion, okay? 7s are fascinated with 9s and vice versa, but frequently they trigger each other, and it can get very, very ugly. So what's going to happen this year is it is a 9 year for you, and 9 is the number of completions, but it's also the number of enlightenment. Leslie is a natural mystic, very, very psychic. Okay? So this year you're going to be using your intuition to kind of plan your steps, okay? Because this year you're just really, you're feeling like you need to get rid of certain people that are draining you. You need to stop doing certain behaviors that are no longer serving you. I mean, sometimes we do stuff and they have a payoff for us, that's why we do them. But you're really feeling this year that it's like you need to be the butterfly. Okay, so that's what the whole year is about. But you may be also traveling this year. I don't know if you have any health issues, but if you have the opportunity to travel, absolutely do it, because it will broaden your perspective. This is a very magical year for you. And bear with me 1 second. In July, plan to do something like a spirit quest in July. Even if you don't go far from your home, just plan to do a spirit quest, like maybe fasting or like days of meditation or whatever. That is going to be a super mystical, psychic month for you, and very, very exciting. And next year, it's going to be a whole new ballgame. This year, you're preparing for just breaking out of all restraints. Everything that you thought was limiting you, they're just going to be falling this year. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. And knowing this, you're gonna feel so much lighter. Every month you're gonna feel lighter and lighter and lighter. And again, in July, plan to celebrate this newness, like everything that's like, just I'm leaving that bag over there. I'm leaving that one behind. That one behind. In July, just really take stock of everything and celebrate. Very, very powerful month. And September really, I mean, you're just, when things get intense, because they're going to get intense this year, just understand that it's like your soul, it sounds bad. I don't like the way this sounds, but I'm going to say it like this. Your soul is being purified, because it's kind of like you've been needing to take out the trash for a while, and you just feel like, I don't want to. This year you want to. So do it. September, take out tons of trash. Okay? and then in October, man, it's going to be sweet. All right? And then the rest of the year is just you're gonna be on more surer footing. You might be, I'm just gonna warn you, you might be a little sore because you're just letting all these things go. But it's kind of like when you've had, that's not right either. When you had a good workout, okay? And your muscles are sore, it's because they're being broken down so that they can heal again, so you can get stronger. You know that, okay? And Leslie, you're a warrior, and if you have any health issues this year, just take care of them. You can do all the alternative therapies that you want, but definitely, pay attention to what's going on and celebrate yourself this year. Celebrate all the amazing things that you're letting go, and it's just going to get brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. And next year, man, you're straight out of the gate.
All right, well, so we got about 15 minutes left. So we won't have time for more readings, but we'll get into, if you want to get a reading from Miss M, all the links to her website and everything will be posted up. It's up on the website, but I'll post more links and everything like that. Now, of course, everybody's thanking you for everything. Leslie said, spot on. Bill and Mike said thank you. Nicole said thank you for all that.
Subscribe to my channel.
So
you guys are so sweet.
So now we with the 15 minutes left, there was something that we were talking about.
Right, I wanted to
commercial break.
Right. Okay. I wanted to talk about the next few months. okay, because they're very, very intense. These are universal months, okay? So we are in a month of 13, universal month 13, okay? So, and again, remember, it's an 11, so it's not just a 13-4 month, it's a 13-4 month in 11 universal year, so it has an added dimension. It's like it's especially intense. So I'm going to tell everybody out there, and this is varying degrees, okay, but in general, really throw yourself into your work, whatever it is. And ultimately, our work, everyone's work is to know themselves, okay? That is our ultimate work, okay? And you will have epiphanies with whatever you're doing as long as you do it like you know you can. Like last month, very hard to focus, so you may have been berating yourself that I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, but at the same time you're having a little fun like a little kid, like, oh, I'm not ready. But this month, this month you're going to be able to focus and you're going to be able to transcend whatever you thought you could do. You focus this month, you can get so much stuff done, it will astonish you, and I want you to watch out for certain days to plan your projects, plan your work. Okay, whether it's meditating at home, whether it's cleaning out your closets, which I definitely recommend right now because, again, that's important work for knowing who you are, for discovering yourself. We have all this stuff that we've accumulated over years that we don't need, that we're just hanging on to for why, right? We throw it out. Okay. So just focus on the 9 days, okay? The February 9th, February 18th, February 27th. Plan your projects, plan your work for those days. The day before, I'm just going to give you, this is the, heads up sports forecast. The day before, like the 8th, like tomorrow, the 8th, the 17th, the 26th, you're going to feel a little wonky. People are going to be pulling you from all sides, trying to get you to do this and that. And I'm telling you, if you're following this, it means your power is up because you're planning your work. And this is a very, very powerful month. And if you're planning your work to do your work, your power is going to be up. And people are going to be glomming on to you, but know that that's going to happen. And you keep your beat on what you want for the night, okay? Then when the night comes on the 9 days, do your work like you don't need to explain to anybody, okay? You will do more than you ever thought you could. And the day after, you are going to see results. It's going to be immediate, okay? I'm telling you, it's going to be immediate. You're going to see changes in your life and in your environment because you focused so hard, because you did your work. You're going to have that epiphany. Things are going to be different. They are going to be different. So I want to give everyone a heads up for that, for this February. Next month is 14-5. Another reason you have to do your work and get really solid this month. Next month is going to be wonky, like wonky, the definition of wonk. Okay. So, okay, it's a 14-5. 14 is a gift number, okay? So there are going to be changes all over. But again, remember, this is the fun house mirror attraction of yours, okay? Nothing is really what it seems. That's why you have to know who you are, what you're doing, because that is the most important thing. Your intent, and your authentic emotions, that is what you know, okay? And you have to get to know that, okay? If you can meditate for 2 minutes every day, just sit there and say, who am I? Feel your feet, feel every part of your body all the way up to your head. 2 minutes at least. If you do that, that's really going to help. Because in March, what?
I was going to say, every night when I go to bed, I'm listening to meditation music, and then, of course, I spend probably about an hour each day just to meditate, just to calm myself down from the day.
That's brilliant, and that's perfect. That's excellent, because that's what you need to do, because you need to know where you end and everything else begins. Very, very important, especially for next month. Lots of things. There's going to be a lot of dust-ups. You're going to see a lot of things in the news, and then like I talk about in my video, we all have a hand in what happens in the world, because that's the power of the 11. We always do. The micro affects the macro. It always does, but it's so intense this year. So you want to stay as centered as possible for your community and for the world. I'm not telling anyone to be a martyr here, but just because you're doing it because you want things to work out for you, it will help the whole. Okay, so just prepare for next month to get wonky. Okay. Also, if you're traveling next month, remember to dot your I's, cross your T's. Just make sure that everything is in order. Okay? And make sure everything is in order. It's a great month for travel, but you have to make sure there are no loose ends flying around. Okay, so April, you'll be able to exhale a little. Just a little.
Just a little?
It's going to be, there's going to be some good financial stuff happening, but so you'll be able to exhale. Then in May, it's gonna all eyes. If you're in the U.S., I didn't want to focus this too much on the United States, but all eyes are going to be on the United States, and respectfully. Okay? Yeah. And you can think of that in your own life. Just do your best. Do your best. And I just wanted to throw those months out there because they're gift numbers.
Okay.
All right?
Now,
and very important. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I wanted just thought about this, and I've been wanting to ask this to a numerologist, and of course I have one on the show tonight. A lot of people notice, like, on a clock 11:11 and stuff like that.
Right.
But with me, I tend to notice a different number
okay.
a lot, and it's actually 9/11.
Yeah. Okay.
And I didn't know if there was a meaning to that, because I know, like, the 11:11, that's a powerful number and everything like that, but I never really knew what the meaning was behind why I keep seeing 9/11.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm sorry we didn't get more repeating numbers, but the 9/11. First of all repeating numbers. I mean, there are general meanings, just like there are for all numbers, and then there are what the numbers mean to you. So what you need to do is whenever you see the number that keeps repeating, you see over and over again, pay attention to what you're thinking, what you're doing, what's going on in your life, and you will immediately make the connection. So in other words, let's say like right before you're about to get your bonus, you see 888 every time. Or maybe you have a bill that's coming, and every time you see 808, and okay, that's the association. So it's kind of like, see, our soul knows what's going on at all times. Our energy field, these are messages from our energy field. You can say also they're messages from your angels. They're messages that we get on our dashboard, okay? So the 9/11, like, do you recall, like, what you are thinking, what's going on when you see the 9/11?
I really never thought about it.
Okay, now is the time to pay attention to what's going on. But I will say this also. Now I don't have your numbers in front. You're 10/26, 1973.
12/26, 1973.
12/26, 1973. In the fourth. Okay, so the 9/11. So I just wanted to make sure. So the 11, right, is your attitude number. Mm. So you're not. I just intuitively, I would say to watch your thoughts and to get back onto the right side of things, because with you, because you're a 4, because you've had so many people like leaning on you for friggin' ever, it has, and you are also such an empath. You can take on other people's stuff. So when you see 9/11, that would be a signal to you to get back into your power. You get back on the straight and narrow and remember who you are. And remember, oh, wait a minute. No, yes, I can manifest that. I can do that, and I'm going to keep going. And get out the negative Nancy's. Okay, that's intuitively what I see. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we got about 5 minutes left. I wanted to have you let people know where they can find your YouTube channel, and everything like that, because I had a listener ask for the YouTube channel again. and where they can find out more information or if they wanted a reading from you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Paranormal Phil. You rock the house. You rock
Thank you so much.
So, yes, you're a wonderful, wonderful. I'm sorry. Were you going to say something else?
No. Go ahead.
Okay. My YouTube is Miss M, and you can find it Miss M Numerology. When you search, because it's called Miss M, but I think there are other Miss M, so you can search on Miss M Numerology. And I have a few videos up there. I have to do this month what I wanted to do also was I wanted to do a combo reading because, like I said, there are the gift numbers, so I still have to do that. But you guys have spoiler alert. I told you this stuff. So please subscribe to my channel, and you'll get all
everybody
the updates.
Be quiet. It's like, everybody be quiet. Don't mention it. Just kidding.
What?
Right, I was like, quiet. Everybody, don't mention it.
Yes, and then my Facebook page is Miss M's Number U. Okay, so Miss M apostrophe S, Miss M's Number, and then U, just the letter U, like university. Miss M's Number U. That's my Facebook page. You can get in touch with me on Facebook. You can also email me at IamMissM888 @gmail.com. That's IamMissM888 @gmail.com. And you can also find me if you want. You can ask me for personal or private readings there. I'm going to be on Psychic Source also. And also Bitwine. If anyone knows Bitwine, it's a chat platform. It's Psychic Mandarava, but people call me Miss M for short because Mandarava is kind of long stuff. So, but it's Psychic Mandarava at Bitwine, so you can catch me there. And yeah, I look forward to talking to lots of you. It's so much fun. Numbers are awesome, and they're healing. Yes.
Well, I'll definitely have to get you on back on a later show and everything like that. But I want to thank you for coming on the show. Before we got 3 minutes left in the show, I want to mention on Friday night we have, of course, there's no show tomorrow. That's my off day. That's my time to contact guests and get things done that I need to get done. And of course, Friday night we got open lines where you, the listeners, can call in, share your stories, experiences, or questions about the paranormal, or it doesn't have to be about the paranormal. Because I do have a lot of experience in other fields too. Just numerology I know very little bit about, but I do have a little bit of experience in just about everything. So if you do have a story, experience, or question, be sure to call in Friday night for open lines. And of course, next week the shows will be posted up for next week's shows sometime tomorrow evening. So be sure to check that out. Once again, thank you, Miss M, for coming on the show. You were a great guest.
Thank you so much, Phil. Thank you. Thank you to everyone.
Yeah. And, of course, all my listeners, thank you. I'm pretty sure the ones that are listening are thanking you without the ones that are not in the chat, but they're probably listening. They're probably going, thank you so much, and everything like that. So, once again, thank you for coming on the show. And for those listening, until Friday night when we have open lines, I shall see you on the dark side. Good night from Talking the Night.
Thank you so much. That was so fun. Oh, Gary. Yeah, okay. A friendly competition. No, absolutely not.